Well, today, Amber, when we was in class, because it's just me and you in this class, and I hope my battery doesn't cut out, and he said he was discussing that Australian Aborigines. What did he say?
He said that despite their big fat Negro lips and their kinky hair and their black skin, that they were archaic.
Excuse me, he said frizzy hair.
Frizzy, yes.
I'm sorry, I had to correct that because kinky and frizzy are different things. Well, when I went to go talk to him today, you know what he told me? He said that he didn't say they big fat Negroid lips.
What did he say?
He said that he said big, thick Negroid lips.
I mean, it's still offensive. It's something that shouldn't be said in the classroom. It shouldn't have been worded the way that it was worded.
So we wrote these emails. What did you get on the exam?
I got a C.
A C. What do you usually get on your exams?
A's.
Have you ever got a C on your exam before?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
You telling the honest to God truth?
Yes, I never received a C in the class, especially anthropology class. They're all A's.
I can believe that. I can, and you know what? I think that's a valid point. I think that says something there. Well, he is the only person that we have to take this class, right? Like, we can't take it with anyone else.
No.
And we have to pass it because it's for our major. When you're in that class and he says those derogatory things, do you feel like uncomfortable?
Yes, I do.
Do you feel like you're singled out? Now, why would anybody want to be singled out? Like, especially, like you didn't do anything to single yourself out, did you?
No.
Do you feel like people are looking at you when he says those things?
Right. I think they are expecting you to say something or do something to counteract what he said.
So you do feel like there's a pressure, like you're obligated to say something, or maybe sucking your big fat Negroid lips, or
right.
I think
well,
I
me
feel
personally,
the same
I wouldn't
way.
feel that way because I'm proud of who I am. But a lot of people would think that I would feel that way. That's what bothers me.
Right. I feel that. Did you feel hurt by the things?
Not really hurt. I was disgusted that an anthropology professor of all people would say something like that.
Well, because I felt hurt. I felt hurt by the things because I was feeling like in this day and time, I know that's those things my grandmother had went through and the people before me had went through. But when you hear about this professor and you hear that people have complained about him before and nothing has happened, I feel like he can do those things I took it personal. I feel like he can do those things because no one has done anything about it. He can fail me because I'm black. You know, he can say that the Polynesians are less scary than the Melanesians and Australian Aborigines because they look more white, you know, and their hair isn't frizzy like mine, you know. And I just felt like people were looking at me in the damn class. I feel like people were looking at me, like when he says those things. And that's not the first time he says those things, is it?
No.
He says it all the time. Isn't it hard to stay focused on the work because he goes off on so many tangents? Then he doesn't give us a study guide, correct?
No.
Then there are no office hours on his syllabus, correct?
No.
Do you want to see him fired? I mean, I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't want to see him fired. I'm going to ask you after I answer this. I wouldn't want to see him fired. I would want to have a choice at another professor. I would want to get the grade that I feel like I deserve because I studied for the exam. Did you study for the exam?
I did study.
You read the book. You sat in all the lectures. How is it that you got to see? That's impossible. You know? So if something had to be done about it, where we had to take it to the very top of the university in order to get our grades, would you be willing to do that?
Yes.
and say for instance the university couldn't do it and we had to take it to, you know, the news, would you be willing to do that?
I would, but I don't think if the university can't do it, that's where he's at. He's in the university. If they can't do anything, who else can do?
Well, I don't think you're at that. I think like what I'm saying is I'm afraid that the university might continue to let him fail people and continue to let him, you know, talk down on people. And I'm feeling like I'm afraid that might happen even in this case. Now, I pay for my classes. So, say for instance, the university couldn't do anything about it because that's what it seemed like the story is. Then I wouldn't be expecting the news channel to do anything about it. I would feel obligated as an African American in today's society and considering my ancestry, my heritage, to do something about it, to where everybody heard about it. You know, that's just what I would you be willing to do that too?
Yes.
We've gave emails, we've talked to him, correct? You know, it doesn't seem like he want to reason with us, so. You want to say anything else?
No, that's it. That's in by your house.
So you're gonna take this class again, huh?
Yes.
And you're gonna do a pass or fail? What do you how do you feel about people who have to pay for the classes? Because I mean, I know you don't pay for it, but even still, don't you feel agitated?
Right, that I have to take the class that's a 2,000 level over again. But people who pay for it, I think that it's a waste of money, especially when it's a requirement for your major. It's something that might be important to you, that you want to use in the future. And you can't because you're not being taught the correct things that you would need to know. So I think that the people who are paying for this class especially are being gypped.
And you think it's a waste of time? What if you were graduating on time next year and you had all your classes, like you were to the capacity without having to pay extra for extra credit hours, and all of a sudden you have to take this course again because you didn't pass it? Or what if this is the course that keeps you here?
I would be very upset because there's no need for it. If the professor teaches, the student should learn. Not people in the class, like over half of the class probably got a C or below. That shouldn't be. That says that there's something wrong with the teaching, not the learning.
Thanks, Ambi.
You're welcome.